Hello everyone, this is Gary from the Seer's Cave, and on this Sunday morning, well, just into afternoon now as I'm recording this, I'm going to be doing a rune reading. And the particular setup that I'm using here is incorporating a new rune set that I have by Ralph Blum, and this is from his Book of Runes. And these are rather pretty frosted glass, I believe, runes, which I do rather like. And I've done a Thor's Hammer spread, which is a new spread that I'm trying for the energies of today. So we have the central issue at the bottom here, with a positive and negative aspect to it. Then we have our next immediate issue as a kind of timeline, and then we ultimately have our outcome at the top of the spread. So our central issue is the rune Othel, or Othela, and I don't usually do reverse rune meanings, but this came out this way up, Merkstave, so I'm leaving it that way. And the feeling I get very strongly with this is one of really having things that we're refusing to let go of. Othel is an interesting rune because it is a rune of inheritance. It's a rune of things coming to us, passed down to us, physically, genetically, authoritatively, you know, in terms of perhaps titles and things of that sort, property, also our genetic makeup being passed down. But it's also a rune that says you have to carve your own path, and you have to separate from things in the past in order for new things to come in. And the feeling when I see this reversed is very much of one that there are things that we won't let go of for whatever reason. We feel too connected to them, too attached to them, and we have this refusal to release and refusal to let go. Now, the negative side to that, first of all, is the rune Beork, or Berkana. And this is a very nurturing rune. It's actually a very positive rune, generally speaking. It's one of fertility, it's one of the ground being ready for use, but it's also one of motherliness and nurturing. And the feeling I get in this context is that here we see the things that we won't let go of as being too important. We see them as too comfortable, too safe, almost like the mother's womb, and we won't let go of that for that reason. Now, the positive aspect, however, that we have with this is Ioch, and what we are dealing with here is a rune of flexibility, a rune of, to some extent, cycles. This is actually the yew, as in Y-E-W, and the yew tree was a very, very sacred tree to the Norse people, and very useful. It was used for a number of different things, for making bows. It was also used for carving runes as well. It's a very hard wood. So we have a lot of strength, we have a lot of flexibility in this. We have a lot of good omens in a way. So what we're looking at here is we are in a position, if we choose to let go, and to have a very strong but flexible attitude to it. So it's not necessarily letting go of everything, but certainly, you know, we can afford to rid ourselves of things that are no longer helping us, no longer serving us. Our next immediate issue is the rune of Hagal, or Hagalas, and what we're dealing with here is things that have to be dealt with. It's kind of issues, challenges, problems that definitely have to be confronted and dealt with, so we can't run away from them. And just moving to our final rune, and then I'll do a little recap. We have Heilsa, and here we're looking at a rune of protection. So ultimately we end up in a very positive space. We end up in a very good place, well protected, settled and satisfied. So it's a good place to end up ultimately. So if we just do a quick recap, we have initially an indication that we have things that we are refusing to let go of because we see them as being too important, too safe, and too comfortable. But if we take a very flexible approach and a very strong approach, we can afford to let some of these things go without losing too much. We then have an issue of things that must definitely be dealt with. So we can't really avoid this letting go process. We have to deal with it. But once we do, we end up in a very safe, protected, and positive space. So any fears we may have had initially about this letting go, we need have no further, because we're in a very contented and settled place. So I hope you've enjoyed these runes of the day and this look at the energies around us today and the themes that may be affecting us. Please feel free to leave me some comments and let me know how these themes affect your day today. Also, please feel free to check out my website, www.cave.webs.com, for more information about myself, my tools, and the readings that I offer. I want to wish everyone a really happy, protected, safe, and transformative day today, and wish love, light, blessings, win, which is joy, and frith, which is peace, to everyone.